So let me know what are all the doubts you had from yesterday's assignment. Were there any questions? Is there anything which you didn't understand and you wanted?
Sir, yes, sir.
Mhm.
Eighth question, isn't the question supposed to be A equal to I cap plus 2J cap? Because I did not get the
No
answer.
need, no need.
It came
Eighth
around
one, huh? You're talking about Sri
eighth
Sai
one, sir.
Raghav, are you
So
talking
even
about the
I
eighth?
didn't get the answer for 8.
You
Yes,
didn't
sir.
get in the sense what?
Sir, like the answer was 99.59. Isn't it? If it is plus 2J cap, then the answer is correct, sir. I mean, the regular one.
Okay. So are you trying to say when you, 1 minute, let me check it. So A vector is equal to I cap minus 2j cap minus k cap. B vector is equal to minus I cap plus j cap minus 2k cap. Accepted? Just a minute. So what are the formula you guys applied? Cos theta is equal to A vector dot B vector divided by magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector. Is this the formula you guys applied?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then there is no chance, man. Okay, let me check. So what is the A vector dot B vector? -1, -2,
Yes, sir.
+2. So it is -1 divided by root of somebody. How to find the magnitude of a vector? Root of
Root
6. 1 square. That's right. 1 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. It is 6 into square root of. It is also 1 square plus 2 square plus, 1 square plus 1 square plus 2 square. So you will get the answer as -1 divided by root 6 into root 6. It is -1 by 6. So cos theta is equal to -1 by 6. So theta will be how much?
sir, 99.59.
Cos inverse of -1 by 6. You can leave it as it is. You need not find 99.
Oh, okay, sir.
99 is also right. Oh, were you thinking that there is no
Sir,
angle other
because
than 90 degrees?
yes, sir, because they asked specifically find the angle between the vectors.
No, no, no. I understand where you're coming from. See, your 10th standard trigonometry, you would have learned only the angles between 0 to 90. Maybe that is confusing you. 99.9 degrees is also an angle. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because see, when the line is there, when I rotate it through an angle of 360 degrees, how much is the angle? Sorry, when I make a complete rotation, how much is the angle? It is 360, right? Right. Keeping that
Yes, sir.
context in mind, 99 or whatever angle you are going to get is also an angle only. That is the angle it is going to make with respect to one of the lines. So one line will make an angle of 99 point something like this. If one of the lines is like this, the other line will be 99 point something. It is right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, for that matter, what you can do is you can create your own question and find it also. You can give random numbers and try them as a part of practice. So you can leave the answer as cos inverse of -1 by 6 because in your mathematics, in the third chapter, you learn a topic called as trigonometric functions. See, last year, what would have happened? You would have learned trigonometry as a chapter, the basics of it. This year, you learn it as a function. See, first chapter is sets. Second chapter is relations and functions. That relations and functions will be applied into the third chapter. At that point, you learn something called as radians. If you have heard about it, well and good. If not, I'll teach you, don't worry. So you will be learning it in units and measurements also. So there are two
Yes,
ways to
sir.
measure
I've
the
heard
angle.
it, sir.
Okay, one is in terms of degrees and the other is in terms of radians. Okay. So mostly whenever you try to find the cos inverse or tan inverse of something, you will try to write the answer in terms of radians. Okay, so that's all. Anything else, guys? Anything else?
Sir.
That's it. Tell me.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. The angle between two
It,
parallel lines is 0 degrees, sir.
one,
Correct?
1 minute. Who's speaking actually?
Raghav, sir.
Raga. Yeah, tell me. Tell me, Raga. So angle
Sir,
between two lines, 0 degrees, they are
parallel
parallel.
lines,
Correct.
parallel vectors.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Sir. So for proving
Okay.
they are parallel, we can substitute 0 in theta. Cos theta is equal to dot product by magnitude, right?
Okay. Okay.
So it will come magnitude of two vectors is equal to the product of two vectors.
Dot product of the vectors.
Yes, sir. So can you once write any two vectors, sir?
You want me to show an example of it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll be doing some problems today. You will get the example for it. Don't worry. See, actually, I think Subrajit also messaged me yesterday regarding the same doubt. I just wanted to add one point,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Good, you people are thinking in a right manner. See, if two vectors are given, right, you can prove them to be parallel. One of the conditions is this cos theta formula. Okay, one condition. If I take a second condition, okay, then I can say from the definition of parallel vectors, I can say if one vector is equal to lambda times another vector, I can still prove them to be parallel. Rather,
sir,
since you asked, no, what I'll do, can you create a question? I'll give you an option. I want you to create a question where they are parallel vectors. I gave you a hint just now.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'll write one of the vectors. You tell me what the other vector can be. A vector is equal to I cap plus j cap plus 2k cap. Then what is B vector? What can B vector be?
Sir, we can multiply any number, sir. It will become
Any number.
parallel.
That's what. You yourself can create a question. For example, 2i cap plus 2j cap plus 4k cap. By looking at it, you can say, because if I take the 2 out, it is I cap plus j cap plus 2k cap. Is it not like B vector is equal to 2 times A vector? Okay. So one more thing, what I would suggest is, for your satisfaction, you can apply the dot product and see. You asked me to do, no? What you can do, you can try it out here. You will get cos theta is equal to 1. Sharia? So cos theta is equal to 1, theta will come out as 0 degrees. That part I'm leaving with you. I hope you can try it, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, but I have one more doubt, sir.
Please tell
Here, in the B vector, every number is positive. Now make the numbers negative also one.
It will work. It will work.
It will come -2. We have
It
to
will
take
work.
-2.
Okay, okay. See, one problem again I'm able to see, right? I just want to clear this perspective. You guys are looking at these vectors as numbers, mere algebraic parameters. Am I right? See, for example, x plus y plus z, you're looking at them like that. But I would start suggesting you guys to start thinking in the form of a vector in which plane, vector in which space. For example, to clear your doubt of what will happen if minus comes, no? You answer certain questions. Okay. If I take a point here, I will write only the magnitude of the points. Tell me 2, 3. What corrections do I need to make in that point?
-2, 3.
It is -2, 3. How did you find that minus? Because it lies in the second quadrant. That's what your mathematics coordinate geometry taught you, right? If keeping that in mind, if I join it, okay, then it becomes a vector. So O, if I take this point as P, OP vector, also called as the position vector of point P. I hope you guys know this, right? So what is the case here? So how do I write OP vector?
-2i cap plus 3j cap.
So I can make it as -2i cap plus 3j cap. I would have already taught this to you. The more matured way is 2 into -i cap plus 3 into plus j cap. So that you're telling the minus and plus to the person who is reading your paper, right? Raghav, to answer your question, so what I'm going to do is, if I take a point here as -4, 6. Okay, I'll take a point like this. If I take a point -4, 6, okay. If I join it from the origin, I'll get a vector like this, right? So what if I call this point as Q? What is OQ vector? Raghav, I want you to answer. Minus.
1 minute. So -4,
4i cap.
4i cap plus 6.
6j cap. Okay, well, if I take the 2 outside, no, -2i cap plus 3j cap. But what is -2i cap plus 3j cap?
OP vector.
So did that minus sign affect? You're able to understand, huh? You
Yes,
have
sir.
nothing. Tell me, please.
So even 4, -6 will be parallel to 2.
4, -6 will be anti-parallel. Because see, minus 2 comma 3 is in this direction now. 4 comma minus 6 will be in which quadrant?
Fourth one.
Fourth quadrant. Then what is the angle between them?
180.
Now you're able to understand.
Yes,
So
sir.
what I'm trying to say from this example is, don't look at these vectors like mere algebraic parameters. No, that is not the meaning. Okay. So have a better clarity on this chapter. It will help you in your math also. You can understand it better. Trust me on this. I hope I could solve some of the issues you had, right? If you do some more problems, you will have a better clarity. Am I clear with this, guys? Any other doubt? Any other doubt?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Sir.
Sir, yesterday you told that proving two vectors as parallel, we can also do it in cross product method. So could
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
could you
I
explain
was
that?
supposed to teach you. No? I hope everybody has gone through the video which I shared on YouTube, right? Because it's almost a 13-minute video.
Yes, sir.
Right. I hope everybody has gone through. Anyways, I'll be doing a glimpse of it. Don't worry. So we'll be using the cross product also. So before we get into the problems, so I want to teach one of the concepts, that is cross product of vectors, which is also called as vector product. Let me explain this to you. So what does this state? If I give you two vectors A and B, which are non-zero, then the cross product between them is mathematically defined as magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector multiplied with the sine of the angle, multiplied with the sine of the angle between those two vectors, multiplied with what? An important parameter that comes into picture is n cap. What is this n cap? The n cap is a unit vector which is perpendicular to both A vector and B vector. So having all these points in mind, if I take A vector like this, okay, if I take A vector is equal to A1 I cap plus A2 j cap plus A3 k cap, B vector is equal to B1 I cap plus B2 j cap plus B3 k cap. Can someone tell me what will you get A vector cross B vector as? You will get a very big expression. Anybody who can tell me?
So can I, sir?
Yeah, please.
So if we cross A vector and B vector, we get I cap, J cap, I cap bracket AY BZ minus AZ BY.
Okay, A1, B2. Okay, you want to say in terms of X and Y. Okay, I'll change it for you. Wait. Just give me a second. So are you comfortable with A1, A2, B1, B2? Can you tell me in terms of these values?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please.
I cap A3 A2 B3 minus A3 B2
Okay.
minus J cap bracket
Okay.
open A1 B3 minus A3 B1
Very good. Plus,
plus K cap bracket open A1 B2 minus
minus.
A2 B1.
Okay, that's good. So one thing I would have mentioned the video that you need not remember this expression, right? It is such a big expression. I don't expect anybody to remember this. Maybe you can remember it till an exam which is going to be in 1 month down the line. After that, you're definitely going to forget because it's such a big formula. So what is the other method I have explained? So A vector cross B vector, you can solve it using the determinants. What are the determinants for matrix? I cap, J cap, and K cap. What should I write at the bottom?
A1,
I should write the
A2 and
coefficients. Very good. I should write the coefficients of the first vector. So here A vector plus B vector, this is first and this is second. So write the coefficients of the first vector in the second row and the coefficients of the second vector in the third row. Then what are we supposed to do? I cap multiplied with, you're supposed to hide the corresponding row and corresponding column. Then you should start multiplying, cross multiplying A2, B3, A3, B2 with a minus sign in between them. Then what will happen? Minus J cap. Minus J cap. Then what will happen, guys? This
you
will
have
be
to
covered
hide
and
the
this.
corresponding column.
corresponding row and column. So what am I able to see? I'm able to see A1, A3, B1, B3. Cross multiply them. A1, B3 minus A3, B1 plus K cap into hide the corresponding row and the corresponding column. Sorry. Hide the corresponding row and the corresponding column. So what do we get? A1, B2 minus A2, B1. Right? So this is going to be the formula. So whenever a problem is given to you, what you can do is you can use this formula to solve it. Okay. So to check your understanding, I just want to give you an example. So there is a physical quantity called as torque. So torque is generally represented by the symbol T. So torque is mathematically defined as the cross product of R vector and F vector. That is, torque vector is equal to R vector cross F vector. If R vector is equal to I cap minus J cap minus K cap, F vector is equal to minus I cap plus J cap plus K cap. Okay, find torque. I'll give you 1 minute time. Do it fast and tell me. So this is in terms of meter and this is in terms of Newton. Okay, these are the units. I want you guys to solve and tell me as
Sir,
fast as possible.
excuse me, sir.
Please tell me.
Sir,
please
I'm
tell me.
new to this class and I don't know which chapter you're teaching. So can I just listen to it, sir?
Yeah, you can
Today
listen.
only I joined, sir.
Not an issue.
Okay, sir.
No problem. No problem. You just listen. That's it. Okay. I hope you made a
Okay,
note
sir.
of this formula, right?
Yes,
Just make
sir.
a note of this formula and try to use this formula to solve that problem. Let's see if you're able to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody with the answer? Still doing. Is it so tough? I gave you the formula, right? So I cap, J
Sir,
cap,
is it
and K
0 I
cap.
cap plus 0 J cap plus 0 K cap?
What is it? 0 I cap plus?
Sir, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. I just tried to.
0 I
So
cap
0
plus 0 J cap plus?
cap plus 0 K cap.
You're saying if all the coefficients are 0.
I'm not sure, sir, but this is what I call.
Okay, that's what you understood. Okay, let's see. Anyone else whose answer is matching with the same?
Sir, I got the same answer.
You got all zeros only?
Yes, sir.
Maybe that's the scenario. Okay. Anyways, so if I look at the problem, no, had the same problem been given to me, I would have not even proceeded to the determinant concept, because r vector is equal to I cap minus j cap minus k cap, and f vector is equal to minus of I cap minus j cap minus k cap. Directly you can say, no. What are they? R vector and F vector
direction.
are anti-parallel vectors. So what is going to be the angle between them? It is 180 degrees. Yeah, but I'm not sure if you guys know that sine 180 is 0. How many of you know this? So even if you don't know, not a crime, don't worry, because you have not yet learned trigonometry. I just wanted to know if anybody knows that sine 180 is.
Yes, yes.
Do you guys know this? Sine 180 is also 0. That is the reason you're getting a 0 I cap plus 0 j cap plus 0 k cap. That's right. That's right. Anyways, this is the logic, okay, which you people will develop as time progresses. I cannot expect it immediately. But to solve the problem in the traditional way, I'll take this as 1 minus 1 and minus 1. That is the coefficient of r vector in the second row. And here the coefficients is minus 1, 1 and 1. So I cap into, what am I supposed to do? These two will be multiplied. How much is that? Minus 1 into 1 minus of minus 1 into 1. So this will be minus j cap. So minus j cap into what is the answer, guys? So 1 minus 1 plus k cap into 1 minus 1. So if you observe, the answer is I cap into minus 1 plus 1 minus j cap into 1 minus 1 plus k cap into 1 minus 1. So it is 0 I cap plus 0 j cap plus 0. That's right. So you guys were right. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, here there is no torque acting at all. That is the meaning. To speak in terms of mathematics, yes, there's the answer. To speak in terms of physics, if you ask, is there any torque acting on that particular object? The answer is no. Because it's a complete zero value.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Right. Please tell me. Tell me.
Sir,
Sort it
instead
out.
of taking the coefficient as minus 1, if we write like minus cap as 1 in the bracket minus j cap.
Where are you saying? Which part are you
all
saying?
the coefficients, wherever there is minus sign, instead of taking minus sign in the coefficient, we can take it in the I cap or j cap or k cap, right?
That is there, but when you solve the problem, this is the way you do it. See, there are two things, Subhajit. I want to make this point very clear. Okay. When you report the final answer, report the answer with the negative minus or the plus sign for the unit vector. I repeat, when you're telling the final answer, that is when you're writing the last step, you write the answer with a minus or plus sign for the unit vector. Whereas when you're solving the problem, solve it in this way. Because when I say solving a problem, it is mathematics. Reporting the final answer is physics. So you need to have these two distinguishing factors. You're able to understand? Huh? It is very important.
Yes.
Sir. Okay. So anyways, when I keep doing problems, I'll keep stressing on this point because I expect your answers to be in that format. Okay. So don't worry, you'll understand. So I just want to give some properties related to, I think I mentioned the properties also there. Okay. So properties related to cross product. First thing, A vector cross B vector is magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector into sine theta multiplied with an n cap. Okay, sine theta multiplied with n cap. Secondly, to find angle between two vectors, okay, two vectors, A vector and B vector, then you can use this formula. Sine theta is equal to magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B, magnitude of A vector cross magnitude of B vector divided by magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector. Okay. Let me stress on this point. The reason why I wrote magnitude in the numerator is because when you do cross product between two vectors, what are you getting? You are getting a vector over.
Scalar quantity.
Because
Vector.
you get a vector. Okay. So A vector cross B vector is equal to magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector into sine theta n cap. Then what is the magnitude of A vector cross B vector? This will be nothing but the magnitude of this whole thing. So magnitude of the whole right side quantity. So magnitude of A vector is undisturbed, magnitude of B vector is undisturbed, sine theta is undisturbed. What is the magnitude of n cap, guys? What is n cap?
1.
N cap is a unit vector. So unit vector's
vector is
magnitude.
1.
So it is 1. So what is that you're left out with? So magnitude of A vector cross magnitude of B vector is nothing but magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sine theta. So what can you write sine theta as? It is magnitude of A vector cross magnitude of B vector divided by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. So what I'm trying to say is the numerator is the magnitude of the cross product. The denominator is the magnitude. The denominator is a product of individual magnitudes. Okay. So that's what I meant by to find the angle between two vectors A and B. Okay. Third. If the vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, okay, then A vector cross B vector is 0. So if you observe, if you have to prove that two vectors are parallel, no, the cross product between them will be 0. But one tricky point is you will get stuck with anti-parallel vectors also. So I would suggest the best way to solve is the first two only. I'm not denying that this is not a process, but you have an ambiguity existing. That is the reason why I'm not suggesting this. You can use the first two methods which I told you, that is A vector is equal to lambda times B vector, or use the formula for cos theta. Okay. Fourth one. If two vectors are perpendicular, what can you say, guys? A vector cross B vector will be equal to magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector times n cap. Why did I write n cap? Since sine 90 degrees is equal to 1. Right? Which also implies magnitude of A vector into cross magnitude of B vector is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B. Simple logic is, if you write A cross B without a modulus, you have to write this n cap. If you write A cross B with the modulus, you should remove that n cap. The reason I have already told you. Okay. So this is all about the cross product of vector space. This is all about the cross product of vectors. Now we will solve some problems based on this chapter. So there is one more concept that is there that's called as resolution of vectors. It has, you see, it doesn't involve much of mathematics, so I'm not going to teach you now. That will be needed for the beginning of fourth chapter. At that point, I will teach. Okay, so that is the point. That is the time you will understand it better. Okay, so I'm sharing a PDF file in the WhatsApp group. Those who can access it, those who can access as well as look at the screen, access it, or else you can look at my screen for the questions. Shall we start?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we are not going to solve every problem because it's a mixture of 2 chapters actually. So I'll tell you what are all the problems we are going to see. First one, second one, fourth, 8th, 12th, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So these are all the problems that we are going to see. So we'll get started. Trust me, they are simple. Okay. So which quantity is a scalar form from the following physical quantities? Acceleration, velocity, linear momentum, temperature.
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 Temperature. Temperature is the scalar quantity. Okay, simple thing. Next. Second, if A vector is equal to 2i cap plus 3j cap minus k cap and B vector is equal to 4i cap plus 6j cap minus 2k cap, what will be the angle between A vector and B vector?
Sir, 0 degree. They are parallel.
Why? How did you find out that they are parallel?
Sir, I took out 2 common outside.
Sir, pi,
A
sir.
vector is equal to, it is not pi, it is 0 only, 0.
Sir, so
Because
the
A vector is equal to 2 times B vector. That is, if you take B vector, if you take the 2 out, 2i cap plus 3j cap minus k cap. So if this scalar value is positive, they are parallel. The scalar value is negative. Had the question been A vector is equal to minus 2b vector, then the answer would have been pi, where pi represents radians. Okay. As of now, don't worry. I'll give you the conversion. Pi means 180 degrees, pi by 3 means 60 degrees, pi by 2 means 90 degrees. Okay. I'll explain this, but in units and measurements. I don't want to waste time on this concept. Okay, 180 means anti-parallel, 60 degrees obviously at some random angle, 90 degrees perpendicular, 0 degrees parallel. Hence, the answer for this question is 0 degrees. Okay. Moving on to the next question. So, vector representing a physical quantity is given by C vector is equal to 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. The angle between x-axis and C vector. So, x-axis and the C vector. How much is this? 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. So this angle theta is what they're asking. So how to solve? What is the equation? Vector equation for x-axis. X-axis represents just an I cap. That's it, right? Can I write it as I cap plus 0j cap plus 0k cap? Correct. This is C vector. This is x vector. So what is cos theta, guys? Is it not C vector dot x vector divided by magnitude of C vector into magnitude of x vector? So what is C dot x? The numerator is 2 divided by square root of, what are you going to get? 4 plus 9, 13, 13 plus 16 is 29 into square root of, this is 1. So 2 divided by root 29 is cos theta. So theta will be cos inverse of 2 divided by root 29. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's a simple problem. So I'm moving on to the next one. Okay. Now listen. I have A vector dot B vector the whole square plus magnitude of A vector cross B vector the whole square. So what is the answer? So what is A vector dot B vector, guys? It is magnitude of A vector, or I can simply write it as A, no. This I have already told. A, B into cos theta. What is A vector cross B vector? With the magnitude. I've given you as a property. It is AB completed.
Sin theta, sir.
AB sin theta. I should not write n cap. Right? So A vector dot B vector is nothing but A vector, yeah, it is AB cos theta the whole square. And A vector cross B vector's magnitude is nothing but AB sin theta the whole square. So this will be A square B square cos square theta. This will be A square B square sin square theta. If I add both, what am I going to get?
Sir, A square or B square? That's it.
That's it. So you're going to get A square into B square.
Yes, sir. Option B.
Because cos square theta plus sin square theta is going to give us a 1, a trigonometric identity, right? Yes. So shall I move on to the next problem, guys? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, so this is a good problem actually. I wanted to explain, but I can't go more technical. Okay, anyways, I'll try. Okay, so if the resultant of A vector and B vector makes an angle alpha with A vector and beta with B vector. Okay, so the resultant of A vector, guys, mark it as important. Now the point I'm going to say is very, very important. And I have another vector B vector B. So what law are you going to apply to find the resultant of these two vectors? There are two laws of addition. What are they? Triangle and parallelogram. When will we apply triangle? When you have two vectors in order, correct? When will you apply parallelogram?
Yes,
When
sir.
you have
Parallelogram, sir. We use parallelogram.
When you have two co-initial vectors, right? In this case, I'm supposed to use parallelogram law of vectors. So when I have the resultant to be like this, what are they trying to say? The resultant makes an angle alpha with the A vector and beta with B vector.
So theta is alpha plus
Yeah.
beta.
Theta is alpha plus beta. Okay. But here the question is not about theta is equal to how much. They didn't ask the angle. So here we need to frame a relation between these two values. Okay. So for me, I would like, for that, what I will do is I'll just need to ask you a question. If this is the case, do you guys remember this formula? Tan alpha is equal to, if I take the angle between them as theta, tan alpha is equal to B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. You guys will remember
Yes,
this?
sir.
Yes, sir.
So this I told you as a direction of the resultant also. Direction means angle the resultant has made with any one of the vectors. But here the question is slightly tricky. So they are saying this is beta. No? Now we need to find out if alpha is less than beta always. So second is, if A is less than B, then alpha is less than B. That's what they're trying to say. Third case, if A is greater than B, then alpha is less than B. And in the fourth case, if A is equal to B, alpha is less than B. Okay. So this problem can be explained either in the mathematical way, that is by taking a proper trigonometric ratio and then solving it. But sorry, with the limited with the knowledge you have currently, we cannot solve. Unless you learn trigonometry in your mathematics, I can't touch this problem in terms of more technical way. So I will take an example and explain. Suppose there is a person who's trying to apply, let's say there is a chair. Okay, let's say there is a chair where one person is trying to pull it in this direction with a force of 5 Newton, and the other person is trying to pull in this direction with a force of 3 Newton. Okay, the resultant of these two will be something like this, such that the resultant makes an angle alpha with the 5 Newton force and beta with the 3 Newton force. Now I need to frame a relation between alpha and beta, for which my parallelogram law of vectors is going to help me. So there is an important rule in parallelogram law of vectors. So the resultant will be close to, please make a note of this point. The resultant will be close. When I say close, it is in terms of angles as well. The resultant will be close to the vector with a greater magnitude. The resultant will be closer to the vector with a greater magnitude. Okay, that's what happens. So keeping that
Sir,
point
can you
in
prove
mind,
it, sir?
I told you I can't prove it because there are a lot of identities involved. Lot of identities.
Okay, sir.
But if you remind me after trigonometry, I'll definitely teach you. I'm not saying I'll not do it, but if you guys remind me after you learn trigonometry, I'll definitely do it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So you tell me what is the answer according to the condition that I gave.
Towards 5 Newton alpha.
Answer is 5 Newton, correct. So keeping that point in mind, look at the option and tell me which one is right.
Option B, sir.
D.
I guess C, sir.
If A is greater than B, then alpha should be less than B. Answer C. That's right. So more is the force, lesser is the angle.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Got it? That's right. So we'll move on to the next one. Oh, I think we can do the 16th also. 16th is also based on vectors. Okay, let's try this out. If the magnitude of the vector product of two vectors, A vector cross B vector, is root 3 times the magnitude of the scalar product, then find the angle between them. 1 minute time, guys. Solve and tell me. Since you don't know radians, I'll write it in degrees. It is 90 degrees, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 45 degrees. Generally, wherever you see pi, no, it is 180 degrees, guys. Have this in mind.
The pi by 3.
That's right. 60 is right. So it's simple, right? They told magnitude of A vector. So magnitude of A vector cross B vector is equal to root 3 times A vector dot B vector. So what is magnitude of A vector cross B vector? It is AB sin theta is equal to root 3 times AB cos theta. So AB and AB will get cancelled. Tan theta is equal to root 3. So theta will be 60 degrees, but 60 is nothing but pi by 3. Okay. It's a simple problem. I hope everybody is clear. Right? Shall I proceed, guys?
Yes, sir.
So if magnitude of A vector plus magnitude of A vector plus B vector is equal to magnitude of A vector is also equal to magnitude of B vector, then the angle between A and B is how much? Okay, let me solve this problem. You guys listen to this carefully, okay? Let me solve it. Okay, listen to this. 1 minute. Now tell me. So for this 20-second problem, I need to know one concept. See, A vector plus B vector, it represents addition of two vectors. But what are the two types of additions you guys already know? One is triangle law or parallelogram law. And we also know the fact that these two laws are the same. Triangle law of addition and parallelogram law of addition are the same. Correct? So, A vector plus B vector, if I call it as R vector, which is the resultant vector, then what is the magnitude of A vector plus B vector, guys? Is it not the magnitude of R vector? Using which law did we find the magnitude of the resultant? We have a formula, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
R
sir.
is equal to root of,
A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta.
very good, A square plus B square plus 2 times AB cos theta. So what I'm trying to say is, going forward, wherever you see magnitude of sum of two vectors, it is always this formula. You need not write any of these steps. Wherever you see this, blindly you can go to the formula of root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So according to this question, what are they saying? Magnitude of A vector plus B vector is equal to magnitude of A vector also equal to magnitude of B vector. If that is the scenario, what is the angle between both? So how are we going to solve? What is the angle between A vector and B vector is what they are asking. How to solve? So it is very simple. This thing is nothing but root of A square plus B square plus 2 times AB cos theta is equal to magnitude of A vector is nothing but A. Magnitude of B vector is nothing but B. Accepted? So let me
Yes,
take these two equations simultaneously and solve it. So can I say A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta under a root is equal to A? So if I square on both the sides, then what is going to happen? The square root will get eliminated and you will have a square here. So A square are gone. So what do I get? B square plus 2 into A into, in the place of B, guys, in the place of B, can I replace it with A?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Then I will replace it here. A square plus 2 times A into cos theta is equal to 0, which implies 2 times A square cos theta is equal to A square with a negative sign. A square and A square will get cancelled. Cos theta is equal to minus half.
120.
It is 120. If you know it, it is fine. Those who don't know, don't get tensed. Okay. Theta is equal to 120 degrees. Everything is a part of your syllabus. You learn it, don't worry.
Sir, after removing the square root, what did you do?
Where? I took A square, no? So A square got cancelled. This step is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then what I did is, in the place of B, I replaced with A. Because they both have the same value.
Yes,
If this
sir.
is 4, this is also 4. So in the place of B square, I wrote A square plus 2 into A. And again, in the place of B, I wrote it as A. So A square, I took it to the other side so that it became minus A square. And this is nothing but 2 times A square cos theta. So A square got cancelled. Cos theta is equal to minus.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So that's why theta is equal to 120 degrees. Okay. So if everybody has made a note of it, can I move on to the next problem? Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 22nd is over, right? Let's take 23rd. If A vector plus B vector is equal to C vector, and A is equal to root 3, B is equal to root 3, and C is equal to 3, then the angle between A vector and B vector. This is also a good problem. This is also a good problem. Let's see how to solve. So what have they given? If A vector plus B vector is equal to C vector, then what else did they say? A vector is equal to A is equal to root 3, B is equal to root 3, C is equal to 3. So magnitude of A is 3, magnitude of B is, root 3, the magnitude of C is 3. Then we need to find the angle between A vector and B vector. Okay. So what is this, guys? What is this?
triangle law of
parallelogram. It's nothing but basic triangle of addition. So
Yes, sir.
from this, what I will do is this a new thing you are learning today. Taking magnitude on both the sides. Okay, taking magnitude on both sides. Can I write magnitude of A vector plus B vector is equal to magnitude of C vector? Correct. Now comes the other point. In the last problem, I told you wherever you see magnitude of A vector plus B vector, what are we supposed to replace with?
The formula.
What is it?
So root over a square plus b square plus a
Very
2ab
good.
cos 2.
Root over A square plus B square plus 2ab cos theta is equal to magnitude of C vector is C only. As simple as it. So I'll again square on both the sides. A square plus B square plus 2ab cos theta is equal to C square. See, one common mistake that happens, no? In excitement, many people forget this. Does this make sense? Is this right mathematically? What did they
No,
miss?
sir.
They missed the square root. They missed the square
Yes,
root
sir.
in RE. So don't, please, there's a very common mistake I've seen in corrections. Don't do that. Okay? Whole meaning will change. A square is 3 da. Because A is root 3, A square is 3, B square is 3 plus 2 into root 3 into root 3 into cos theta is equal to how much? How much is C square? 9, huh?
Yes, sir.
3 plus 3 will go to the other side, 9 minus 3. So 2 into 3 into cos theta is equal to 9 minus 6 is 3. This 3 and this 3 are gone. Cos theta is equal to half. Theta is equal to, now you guys can see. This is within your understanding.
60 degrees. 60 degrees.
That's the answer. 60 degrees is the answer. Here, it's a good problem. Mark it as important. Okay. So I suggest everybody to make a clear note of it. Okay. Shall I move on, guys? We have 2 more problems to complete.
Just a second.
Yeah, please. 1 minute. Make a note.
Yes, sir.
Good. So first I do the 25th, then I do the 24th. Okay. So 25th is P vector is this and Q vector is this are mutually perpendicular. Remember, guys, wherever you see perpendicularity, the first thing that should come to your mind is the dot product of 2 perpendicular vectors is always a, complete the statement.
0.
It's a 0, right?
0. Yes.
P vector dot Q vector will be equal to 0 since they are perpendicular. Shall we do the dot product between 2 vectors? We know how to do the dot product, right? Just multiply the coefficients of the corresponding unit vectors and add them. So what is the answer going to be? A square. You guys
I
can
cap.
no I cap. Huh? When you do dot product, there is no I cap. No.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, yes, sir.
No,
It becomes
it is
1. Yes, sir. And then
Yeah, A square.
minus 2a
That's it.
plus minus 3.
Minus 3 is equal to 0. So you got a quadratic equation of your work to solve. That
Yes,
is the
sir.
reason the question is very clear. They told what is the positive value of A. So A minus 3 into A plus 1 is 0. So A is equal to 3 or minus 1. You have an option. Yes, you do. Answer is 3. I think there is a very simple problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 24th is the last problem. Let me explain the outline of it. So find the unit vector perpendicular to 2 vectors. Okay. So when you do A vector cross B vector, guys, what are you going to get? Magnitude of A vector into magnitude of B vector into sin theta multiplied with n cap. This n cap is the most important thing. What is it? What does that n cap represent? It is a unit vector.
Unit vector.
Unit vector following what condition? It is a unit vector perpendicular to.
The A and B vector.
It is a unit vector perpendicular to both the vectors for which you are doing the cross product. சரியா? So what you are supposed to do is, if they ask the question like this, find the vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors, just do the cross product. Okay, if I call this as A vector, if I call this as B vector, if I do the cross product between them and I get C vector, the C vector is perpendicular to both A vector and B vector. Okay, but here the question is not about a vector, they asked about unit vector. So the first step is do cross product. Second step is find C cap. C cap is nothing but C vector divided by magnitude of C vector. If you don't know how this formula has come, I suggest you guys to revisit the concept of unit vectors. Okay. So since there is a time constraint, this problem alone, I'm leaving it to you guys. Tomorrow, in the first 5 minutes, I will solve it, but I want you all to try it sincerely. Okay. The first 5 minutes, I am going to solve this problem. Then we'll move on to the next chapter, which is nothing but units and measurements.
Sir, this C cap is come from like magnitude into direction.
Yes. C cap is nothing but a unit vector. See, generally, I would have told this point. You guys, do you remember this? Any vector is equal to magnitude of the vector times A cap. Because a vector has magnitude and
As well as
direction.
direction.
So what is A cap then? A vector divided by magnitude of A vector. That's what I wrote in terms of C. That's it. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So also you have some one mark
sir?
problem. Tell me.
Sir, I didn't understand the first thing you did in that problem. How is it perpendicular to both A vector and B vector? The cross product of A vector.
Because when you do A vector cross B vector, you're definitely getting some other vector. So I'm writing it here on the right hand side. So if I do A vector cross B vector, I'm getting the output as a vector only. I call that vector as C vector. Okay. So what is C vector according to this formula? It is A into B into sine theta into n cap. That n cap is the deciding factor for the direction of whom? For the direction of C vector. Am I clear to this step? N cap.
Sir, but how is n cap deciding C vector, sir?
Because n cap decides for A cross B. A cross B, instead of calling A cross B as a vector, I'm replacing A cross B with some other name C. See, for example, how you have resistors in series, I replace R1 and R2 with R1 plus R2, which I will call it as R equivalent. No. In a similar way, the A cross B, I'm replacing it with some other name C. I'm calling that C also as a vector.
Oh, okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Got it? Yeah. So let me complete it. So C vector's direction is decided by n cap. But you told me that n cap is a unit vector which is perpendicular to both A and B. If n cap is perpendicular to A and B, so is C vector.
Yes, sir.
Right? That is why. So this is the
step.
Got it? Good. So you guys try this, okay? These are the 2 steps to be followed in this problem. You guys try this. If you have any doubt, you can reach out to me. I suggest you guys to please send me messages. Okay, if you call, I'll not be in a position to attend the call. If possible, if needed, you can send me a voice note also, not an issue. Not like you have to send as a text only. If it's a very big message or a very big question, please send me a voice note also, I don't mind. Okay? So see you all tomorrow.
Sir,
please tell me.
No, sir, now what should on which thing should I have a knowledge, sir? Like which chapter is this, sir?
This is called vectors. Anyways, you will have the videos, the recordings of all these videos in the app.
Okay, sir.
You need not learn it on your own. It is already there. Okay, just go through the videos so that you will understand. That's it.
Fine, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you once tell where to use in which question should we use cross product and in which question should we use dot product?
Okay. See, if they have mentioned that two vectors are perpendicular, okay, listen to this carefully. They have already given you two vectors and they have mentioned that these two vectors are perpendicular. Or if they ask you to prove that they are perpendicular, then you're going to use dot product. Okay. Whereas if they ask you to find the vector, they're asking you to find a new vector which is perpendicular to the already existing vectors. You're able to understand that? So the already
Yes, sir.
existing vectors need not be perpendicular. Please understand this. The already existing vectors need not be perpendicular. They can be like this also. Okay.
Yeah, okay,
So if you have to find the third vector which is perpendicular to both these existing vectors, that time you use cross product.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now read this question so that you will have a better understanding. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank
See
you,
all.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.